One side effect of staying up late that you may not know. Hello and welcome to another edition of Shine, where our job is to help you live a better life. Today we'll be reviewing Eat This, Not That, One Secret Side Effect of Sleeping In Too Late by John Arderer. A few years ago, research published in the Journal of Psychiatric Research concluded that night owls, or those who prefer staying up late and waking up even later, are far more likely to engage in nicotine habits, live alone, and remain single than their early-to-bed lark counterparts. The study also noted that night owls have a 27% greater risk of depression than early birds. I think this is true. I've noticed most of my friends and my brother who stay up late generally do have some of these tendencies. Most of them are single and most of them are a little depressed. Let's dive in a little further. Now, while that may seem like quite a lot to link to a bedtime, an all-new study conducted by scientists from the University of Colorado Boulder and the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard, they have shed further light on just how strong the connection between your circadian rhythm and your mental health truly is. This new study reveals that if successfully implemented, certain subtle sleep scheduling changes can reap big mental health rewards. Let's look a little deeper into this. What's more, after analyzing a data set encompassing roughly 850,000 people, their genetic information, their sleep tracking data, and their sleep habit surveys, the research team found that adjusting an individual's sleep midpoint, note that's the halfway point between falling asleep and waking up. So if your bedtime is 11 p.m. and your alarm is set for 6 a.m., your sleep midpoint would be 3 a.m. That corresponded with a 23% drop in depression risk. So let's say your usual bedtime is 1 a.m. If you start hitting the sack at midnight and sleep for the same amount of time as usual, your depression risk may drop by over 20%. If you start going to sleep at 11 p.m., your depression risk may drop as much as 40%. We found that even 1 hour earlier sleep timing is associated with significantly lower risk of depression. If you do a normal sleep habit of going to bed when the sun goes down and getting up when the sun comes up, you're less likely to be depressed. Let's look more at what the scientists are saying. Why going to bed earlier works. Yes, let's see just why going to bed earlier does work, because not everyone is able to go to bed early. I know that when I was doing a lot of freelance work, I had to stay up late for my job. When I got home from work, I couldn't go right to sleep. It was very difficult after working a 6 to 8 hour job to just come home and go to sleep. You needed time to unwind. So I was going to bed a little bit later than the times listed in this article. But let's go a little further into this. So how could something as complex as depression be beaten by a simple strategy like setting an earlier bedtime? Well, the study authors have a few theories. One is that the early bird usually takes in much more natural light, and we all know that sunlight is healthy for us. On a more philosophical note, one scientist speculates that night owls are naturally at odds with the norms of society, and therefore they are prone to cynicism. My brother, who stays up late, is very cynical, as am I sometimes. And a good friend of mine who stays up very late is very cynical as well. So this is an interesting thing that this article points out. We live in a society that is designed for morning people because most people have an 8 to 6 job. I wouldn't say it's a 9 to 5 job anymore. It's usually an 8 to 6 job. our society is designed for people to go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, relax a little, and go to bed. So if you're going to bed later, you're in misalignment with our societal clock. And change isn't easy, but it is possible. If we can change certain things about our sleep cycle, this can improve our depression. These 8 tips for going to bed a little bit earlier come from an article by Scary Mama written by Heidi Phillips. The first one is dump the electronics. We know how tempting it is to scroll with TikTok or Facebook or Instagram right before bed, but the light coming from your phone screen isn't doing you any favors. In fact, that light is keeping you awake. If you need to be on a device, at least set it for a nighttime mode and turn the display down. Another idea is to take a warm bath or shower, which allows yourself to relax. And studies have proven the efficacy of this method if you want to make the time for it. Or you could try aromatherapy. Sometimes my wife uses aromatherapy. She puts the diffuser by the bed and it helps us fall asleep. It puts that nice smell that we enjoy in the air. It relaxes us and it helps us sleep. Another thing you want to do is don't eat too close to bedtime. Some foods get credit for being helpful with sleep, but you're probably better off just not eating close to bedtime. I always try to get my wife and I to have dinner before 8 o'clock. I know some people like to eat after that, but I find that if I eat before 8 o'clock, my stomach has time to digest, I have time to unwind, and it helps to not eat something right before bed. It definitely helps you sleep better. Another idea is to meditate or do yoga. Spend a few minutes doing a gentle yoga sequence. Maybe do a few breaths, meditating, and this all calms you down, relieves some of the stress of the day, helps you sleep. And this last one is very easy. Close your eyes and visualize peace. You need to relax your mind. Think of a happy place you like to spend time. Maybe it's on the beach in the sand with a cool breeze, listening to the waves wash over your feet. That's it for this episode of Shine 365. Please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Shine 365.